Oh, there you go, guys. Today is Wednesday, and we're gonna get together for this beautiful event for you digital nomads that only need the computer and internet to work across the world. So today's topic, guys, will be O-1, EB-1A, and EB-2NIW visas for you digital nomads. And we're gonna spend 1.5 hours together to get those things done out of the way. I'm, by the way, right now in Bali, where many of you like to stay and have fun and work and enjoy life. So you could see those weird statues behind me. You could hear, maybe in the future, you will hear the roosters singing the songs, the squirrels doing crazy stuff. So just mind that, all right? Mind that. You guys know Bali is the way it is. So, what you will learn today. Definitely, you will learn about the best visas for you guys to be able to come to the US, to be being able to work, and maybe even to get the residency and sometime in the future the green cards. Okay? You will know how to showcase your skills, your achievement, and prove all the requirements that are necessary for visas to be approved. We will talk about common mistakes. I'm not gonna have a specific sections. Okay, now we're talking about common mistakes. No. I'm gonna mention them throughout the conversation because I wanted to make it more engaging for you guys and giving you the best information in a regular way, not like an attorney way. And you guys know what I'm talking about because when you watch like other attorneys on YouTube, on Instagram, they're so boring. Oh my God. I cannot stand it. I cannot stand it. No one can, including you. So I'll try to entertain you with this boring stuff, but which is very important. So stay tuned, and we're gonna cover those little mistakes here and there. Also, we're gonna talk about the little tips here and there, how to improve the chances of your petitions being approved. And also, you will be able to ask me any question in the world. And of course, I'll prefer the questions about immigration and everything else, but you are open to talk about what bothers you, what you feel about those programs, what are your plans, and things like that. Before we begin, guys, please, before I tell you about the gifts that I prepared for you for the end of this 1.5 hour session, I want you to do one little thing, and that is to send the message to the comment section if you're watching on Livestorm, okay? Because those who watch on Livestorm, you guys gonna get more benefit of being here. So send me 3 things. Number 1, your name. Number 2, your profession. And number 3, your country, okay? Your name, your profession, and your country. Why do I need that? I need that because I want to give you the real examples from your countries or from your professions so you could resonate, okay? So we could resonate together, guys, get that synergy and make this beautiful webinar memorable and valuable, okay? Bringing the value, guys, is my most important thing to give you in this session. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Mesha Brian. Good morning, all. My name is Mesha. I'm an actor from England. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful profession. Mesha is an actor. See, this is the art, okay? And of course, we're going to cover the art as one of the categories of the talent. Anna is a marketing manager in blockchain from Croatia. Guys, you gotta love those blockchain because that is one of the perspective industries in the US which is proved by the White House policies, okay? I love the blockchain specialist, I love the Bitcoin mining specialist, I love crypto analyst. And by the way, guys, Stanislav was the first attorney in the US who was able to get the green card EB-1A for crypto analyst. Okay, it was 2022. The guy was from Ukraine, and trust me, guys, that was not easy. So since then, all the Bitcoin cases, all the crypto cases, all the blockchain cases, they're coming my way because people have that trust. Now, Ade Natel, senior project manager and football coach and scout, England, England watching on a live storm. Very good, very good. So project manager, football coach. I would think, Ade, that football coaching is your like secondary thing, right? Although I have approvals for basketball trainers, football trainers, and other sport cases, many of them. So I would go by your senior project management profession. Let's take a look, guys. Emily, good morning. Emily, entrepreneur. I own a corporation in Florida in education from France. Love it, guys. Love it. We have people from France as well. Entrepreneurs. I would say that entrepreneurs, investors, and businessmen, they are probably about 20% of my practice. Like the first one is IT, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, the machine learning, everything that has to do with IT, the coding, the quality assurance, and things like that. All right, good. Let's move on. Sandrine. Good morning and thank you for this webinar. My name is Sofia. Okay, that's short. That's a short name. And I live in the Netherlands. I'm an English language tutor. Beautiful. Beautiful, Sophie. Your category is teaching, is education. Lots of cases in that. Many people from United Kingdom, guys. I don't know what's going on, but a lot of you from United Kingdom. I see that MC is a project director from the United Kingdom, and that's great. That's great. UK is represented today. That's very good. A bunch of clients from there. Sam, hi, I'm Sam, AI startup founder from UK. Very good. Sounds like O-1 visa, but we need to take a deeper look at that and see what's going on. My name is Emmanuel. Guys, I don't know how this is one name and this is a completely different name you're telling me. Okay, no problem. Emmanuel, structural detailer. Living in Hungary, but originally from Nigeria. Yes, definitely. Lots of people from Nigeria in the company. And we do have clients from Hungary as well. So I would think this is like architecture or engineering profession, the structural detailer, right? And correct me if I'm wrong, Emmanuel. JT Carvo, John, retired management consultant and board professional. Good. Management consultant, that's the business category. Many cases like that. Yes, and Emmanuel says, yes, that's engineering. Okay, what visa for innovation director from United Kingdom? MC, stick around. All those visas are going to be good for you, all of them. All right, and a few more. You guys on fire today. I love it, guys. I love that energy. Beatrix from Hungary. Okay, 2 people who currently in Hungary. I'm a marketing manager, graphic designer, and I'm building website as well. Good. So that's marketing and graphic designer. That's between art and business. That's really weird. But when you think of it, it's true, because marketing represents the visual of whatever product or service that we sell. So I pack marketing people using the art categories as well, art criteria. All right, it's like weird hybrid petitions, but they all get approved. Eva, PhD student in physics, UK. Love it, Eva. Love it. I hope you have a bunch of publications going on, maybe speaking at the conferences. That's going to help a lot with moving your case. Guys, thank you so much. I know not everybody wrote it down, but many of you. So this is exciting. So that means that you are engaged. You want to get that knowledge. You're hungry for the knowledge. So let's go. Let's proceed with the actual material. So guys, everybody who is going to stick to the end, and I highly recommend to stick up to the end, because the best part is at the end, right? You'll get 2 gifts. Number 1, you will get a free evaluation of your case. Okay? I will tell you exactly what needs to be done. in order to get that free consultation for which you have to pay up to $500 if you go to other immigration attorneys. All right? Here you get it for free. Number 2, the expert relocation solution for high achievers, ambitious talent. Guys, a lot of cool words. I know a lot of cool words. What it actually means, that's like a guide. That's like a guide for you to understand better the criteria into your case. So stick to the end. You'll get that at the end of our hour-and-a-half meeting. Okay, one more person, Abhilash, VFX supervisor from India and studied cinematography in US and on OPT now. Very good, very good. 25% of my clients are Indians, guys. It's just the nature of it. Okay, so let's move on. Let me, guys, tell you just a few words. I promise I'm not going to exhaust your attention because I know your time and attention is the most important, okay? Both of them are important. So, but I want to make sure that I establish my expertise, guys, because it's much better to perceive the information if you know that the expert is talking. So, what do we have in Shamayev Business Law Corporation, SBL? We have a bunch of things happening, okay? We have more than 13 years of experience in American law, in American jurisdiction and jurisprudence. More than 90% approval rate across all our petitions, okay? And by the way, guys, the average approval rate for immigration company is about 50%. And I think now it's lower because it gets harder and harder every year. But with us, we're getting constantly the same results because we constantly improve. Okay? We got approval for more than 3,400 cases. But the goal of my company to bring 10,000 of you to the US by the year 2030. All right, so we're a little bit behind that goal because we need to get 6,600 of you to the US within the next 5 years. So for me, guys, if one of you, at least one of you, becomes one of those 10,000, it's a win for me, okay? Because I know it's a life changed and the life change for many, many generations ahead. No one's gonna remember Stanislav. Nobody's going to remember Shamayev business law. They will remember you like the Christopher Columbus who got to the US and established the new dynasty. Okay? Important, philosophical, but very important. And also we have more than 100 professionals working in a company for only one purpose, to get you approved. Okay, there's only one purpose and result: to get you approved. All right, good stuff. Guys, once you get approved with my company, you get a very good chance to become a member of exclusive business club. Okay, and the number of members in that business club is limited. Okay, and only those who got approval with us may become a member. So imagine, those are the best people in the world. Talented engineers, graphic designers, engineers, doctors, sport people, coaches, the investors, business owners, and they are across the globe. We extend our operations to more than 50 countries in the world. So you would meet people from across the world in exclusive business club. No one is doing this, only we're doing this. A few words about myself. Again, I don't want to exhaust your attention, but again, I think it's important to know who is talking, like who is this guy, okay? Who is this guy talking? My name is Stanislav Shamayev. I'm a founder and leading licensed business immigration and corporate attorney in Shamayev Business Law. What my credentials? I graduated with honors from 2 universities, Florida Atlantic University and St. Thomas School of Law. I worked not only in US federal agencies, but also in the state agencies. And that means, guys, I know exactly what the government wants from your cases. Okay? Because I work for the government, so I know how they think. All right? I'm also an active member of Florida Bar Association, Broward County Bar Association, and I may practice the appellate Florida courts and 11th federal court. Visited more than 50 countries during my career. Now I'm in Indonesia, Bali, one of those countries, and we got 3,400 approvals. I already told you about that, but it's really important information. All right, so I will provide you guys very detailed explanation on 3 visas today: O-1, EB-1A, and EB-2NIW, okay? And the way it's going to go. First, I'm going to explain in short, because I think that's secondary. I want to more talk with you more about criteria of the visas, okay? But anyways, first I'm going to cover O1, then I'm going to cover EB-1A, and because O1 and EB-1A are very similar by the criteria, I'm going to cover both of them by the criteria after EB-1A, okay? And then I will cover EB-2NIW at the end also with the criteria of that visa. So get yourself comfortable. Maybe take a note, a pencil, maybe a device so we could write notes. I do recommend you guys write notes because it's going to be just overwhelming. And if you don't write notes, you will forget a lot of stuff. And by the way, if you have questions and you are on Livestorm, drop those questions in the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or other platforms, no problem. You can always drop those questions there, and the moderator will pick it up and hopefully get it to me, okay? But you guys get the second priority. People on Livestorm get the first priority because they registered for this event. Okay, what is O-1A visa? This is a no... And Sam was like, love your energy. Yeah, Sam, because I love what I do, guys. That's the only thing. I love what I do. And sometimes I look in the eyes of my colleagues, of other attorneys, and what I see the misery, okay? I see misery. When I look at my eyes in the mirror, I see happiness, positive, good vibes, good energy, and that's what I put in those petitions. And that's why we have such a great team, such a great result for our clients, and just overall success in this industry, because our energy is unmatching. So, thank you, Sam. Thank you for the good words. I always appreciate when you guys send good messages to me. So, what is O-1 visa? This is a non-immigrant visa for people and scratch with extraordinary ability. That's not, yes, that's what it says in the law, but trust me, guys, it's not about that. It's about your expertise, okay? That's all about your expertise. So basically, read it, non-immigrant visa for people with expertise in their profession, their industry, okay? Because extraordinary ability is like, it's a very scary name, right? Like nobody thinks in those terms. So what are the advantages of obtaining an O-1 visa? And for you guys, for nomads, digital nomads, it's O-1 visa is one of the best solutions to come to the US, being able to work. And I know some of you made the research and you're like, Stanislav, come on. O-1 requires that employer. We need the employer to petition for us. That's true. But you can become an employer to yourself. How? Easy, guys. We register a company for you, most likely LLC, and that could be your own company. There is nowhere in the law that forbids that. And that company Of course, the corporate work, the corporate documentation is important, and of course we take care of that. But that company is going to be your employer. And you can use that company to work as a contractor for different projects in the US. That's in case you don't have the American independent employer, which if you have, sure, no problem, we'll take it. So what are the advantages? First of all, no limit, no quota for O-1 visa, right? Why are we talking about limitations? Well, because, for example, H-1B and immigrant visas, they have the limit. How many of them could be issued within 1 year? O-1 does not have that, okay? On average, 17,000 of these visas are issued. However, the last year was kind of, I think it was like record-breaking, maybe like 27,000 petitions were approved, okay? So many O-1s are getting approved. And we take a good chunk in those petitions every year, all right? Also, O-1 is a really good jump start to change your future petition to the green card through EB-1A or EB-2NIW. I know it's maybe sound like orthodox that O-1 could be converted to EB-2NIW, but guys, trust me, I've done many cases like this. And the reason being is if you develop yourself in a way that benefits US. If your project is in that direction, that means that O-1 could be with national interest waiver, and you can get the green card just like that. And to prepare the whole case is up to 6 months and 2 months for the embassy. So from 0 to hero for 8 months. Guys, imagine that. If you start working on your case today, you could be chilling on South Beach or San Francisco or LA with your laptop on the beach doing your work already by November of this year. How cool is that? Okay? And of course, I recommend the southern states. I'm myself from Miami, and we don't have winter. So it's beautiful, guys. Beautiful beach, beautiful people, good vibe, good ocean, good internet, and just beautiful place to be, okay? Good vibration, good, very, very good, strong energy. So think of it about O-1 to start your journey into the US. MC is asking, does O visa have green card capability? Exactly. It does not in itself is going to give you a green card, MC, okay? But it's the foundation to build on. All right, so very important visa. Okay, obviously one slide was not enough for the advantages, so we're moving to the second one. O-1 visa could be used for any categories. There are 5 categories, right? Business, science, which encompasses IT, blockchain, graphic designers, although it could be a little bit of art, and overall STEM people, right? Education, sport, and art. Okay, 5 categories. And some categories, they hybrid. Like I told you, marketing and marketing in itself is a kind of hybrid category because it's business and it's art. Okay? The designers could be science and art, could be business and art. Okay? And because I'm saying art so many times, it does mean that there are not other combinations. There's a lot of combination in that sense. Okay, we need 3 criteria minimum for O-1, as much as for EB-1A, but Stanislav recipe is 5 criteria for O-1 and 6 criteria for EB-1A. To start the case, 2-3 criteria is enough for the next 6 months to get things happen, okay? The level of evidence, the burden of the evidence for O-1 is so much lower than EB-1A. Like imagine, guys, The O-1 is a girl who's twerking in the bar. That's O-1 level. And the EB-1A level is the tango dancer. Okay, twerk and a tango. Stand higher. Oh God, I hope you guys like my analogies. This improvisation, clear improvisation. Also, like I said, it's a good jump start to continue your immigration journey. So O-1 is just a great visa. Before we move on to EB-1A, let me tell you guys, and Mesh is like, love it, especially the twerking lady. The twerking lady is the best so far, okay, no problem. So, you guys may think, oh my God, O-1 is just, there's no bad side for O-1. There's no negative factors. There's one. And I have to tell you, because guys, I'm the person who will never try to trick you or lure you in any, I'm not like that. That's too much karma for me. I like the good vibe. I like the Bali vibe. So one negative thing that you need to know about is that your spouse on O-1, who's gonna get the O-3, will not be able to work in the US, but they will be able to stay, to go to school, to take care of the kids, or open up the business and get the dividends from it. Okay, not working, but getting the dividends in it, like organizing it, optimizing it, and the rest of the time just chill. All right, your kids also on O3 will be able to go to school. Regular public school for free. If you want to send them to the private school, no problem. Also possible, okay? But you guys know the private school for kids, without talking about college, is going to be anywhere between $15,000 to $40,000 a year. So that's a lot of money, right? But I know some of you make that kind of money. So that's a good move too. All right, let's take a look. Sophia, without getting political, would the worrisome situation in the European Union increase the chances of getting a green card? Interesting question. I don't see any connection between EU worrisome situation, and I know exactly what you're referring to, and the green card. It's not about that, Sophia. The actual thing, what's important about getting the green card is to get those criteria, guys. We're gonna move in criteria in 5 minutes after I finish with EB-1A and give you the general idea. So as long as we can bring 6 criteria for EB-1A, that's enough to get the green card. And doesn't matter which country you're from. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, if you're Muslim, if you're Hindu. It doesn't have anything to do with this. Okay, so no problem. EU, and I know that there's a lot of problems in EU, guys. I know it, and that's why I want you to have those options. Because many of you don't want to get involved. And by the way, let me guys tell you this little funny story. I'm right now in villa in Seminyak, right? So when I came here, the guy who owns this villa, he greeted me at the gate, and he had this funny accent. I mean, I do have an accent as well, right? But I couldn't recognize, so I told him, "Are you from Australia?" And he said, "No, I'm from Germany." And I came here like on Monday, and I asked him, "Did you vote in the German?" You guys know that Germany had the vote on Sunday, right? And I asked him, "Did you vote?" And he said, like he looked at me like with even if he didn't answer, I would totally know what exactly he means by this stare at me. And he said, "Man, I'm out of it." He's like, "I don't care. They do whatever they want to do. I'm out of it. I'm here. I'm cool. I don't care what's happening there." I understand where he's coming from. So you guys kinda, I see you guys kinda like that. You may agree or you may disagree, but the government does whatever they want. So you want to escape that craziness, and you guys must like that Elon Musk and Trump administration, don't you? And not the I know they have some controversial policies, but I think that's what you guys like because you feel the strength behind it, right? So let me know. I don't want to get political, but just let you know, a funny thing to say. Okay, so guys, I'm not gonna cover much what EB-1A is. That is a green card. Okay, so Stanislav, but it says it's visa. Yes, but it's immigrant visa, and immigrant visa equals to green card. Okay, so let me guys teach you how to determine whether a particular visa is going to give you a green card at some point in the future. If a visa starts with 2 letters, EB, like EB-1A, EB-1C, EB-2NIW, EB-4, EB-5, whatever that is, that means it is a green card. Everything else, O-1, L-1, E-2, J-1, M-1, F-1, you name it. Those are non-green cards. Okay? So EB is a green card. Everything else is non-green card. So EB-1A is the green card. And that's the beauty of it. Because once you get that residency, it's going to be for 10 long years. But after the first 5 years, if you do things properly, and of course, I will let you know exactly what needs to be done, you will get that beautiful blue American passport. I'm a US citizen. I've been a US citizen for almost 13 years, and I'm proud to be American. I take pride in my home country, okay? And I'm happy that my kids are Americans, okay? And I hope you guys will also become the Americans, because the US is the only country in the world that will give you the opportunity to become Americans in the first generation. You got it? You Sam, you Sandrine, you MC, everybody, Eva, you guys will be able to become Americans in the first generation. And your kids, of course, they're gonna be Americans, 100%. None other country, and we have people here from England, and Emily is from France. Guys, ask Emily. Let's ask Emily. Emily, if you're still here, tell me, if somebody is not of the white color, and I'm not a racist, I'm not sexist, I'm not like that. But if a person of a different color than white, let's ask Emily, is this person ever is gonna become French? Never! Never! And his kids or her kids will never become real French people. Never. Ever. Right? So, and more or less, and you see guys, Emily's saying yes, because she knows. She knows. Everybody. Emily, French are very open. I'm not about that. I'm not about that. But when that person leaves and you talk in French with other people, that person is not French for you. Okay? And again, I'm saying it in neutral. No racist, no things like that. So America is different, guys. US is very different. As long as you follow the law and you accept the American values, you become American. Okay? Very easy. 2 things. Laws and values. That's it. That's all you have to do. And guys, I feel like I brought up a controversial topic about French people. But I'm sorry, didn't want to hurt anyone. Let's move on. The main things, guys. Now, let's move from politics. Let's move from chauvinism, racism, all this craziness. All people are equal with equal rights, not equal capabilities, right? So now, what is the talent. What is a talent? Guys, just think to yourself. How do I know that this person is talented? How do I know Emily is talented? How do I know Danish is talented? How do I know that? There's no way to figure this out. But Americans found a way. Guys, Americans found a way. Americans are very smart. And I know this is very controversial, but trust me, Americans are very smart people. So they, and I mean us, because I'm American too, we created the measure of the talent. And the measure of the talent is 10 criteria. Okay, it's 10. You can see 8, but because the last 2, they go only to art. And I know there is an actor with us here from England, Mesha. I'll mention those criteria, I promise, because I know Mesha is here. And guys, we cannot leave Mesha out of this conversation, right? Mesha deserves to know the criteria. So, but eight main criteria, guys. 8 main criteria. So we need to cover at least 3 of them for the immigration officer to deem us talented. But like I told you, we need to have more criteria. We need to have more criteria. So now I'm going to go one criteria by another. I'm going to explain what exactly they mean. I'm going to tell you the alternative ways how to satisfy those criteria. And I'm going to tell you in short what kind of paperwork needs to be provided. Okay? After I finish with all the criteria, and you guys free to give me the questions, I'm going to and guys, and I'm sorry. Let me unbutton this shirt. It's really hot. It's really hot. Give me just one second. Danish, can you turn on the fan? Tika. All right, guys. So it's really hot, and let me guys let me turn on the fan. I'm so hot. I'm sorry. Okay. Did you hear that rooster going? Oh my god. Those roosters are killing me. So, okay, there you go. I'm sorry guys, give me 1 second because it's just too much for me. Oh my god. Okay, good stuff. So, sorry guys. Thank you for giving me the time to get a little cooler than it is. Oh, so much better. So, after we go over all the criteria, I'm going to give you the exact recipe for O-1 and EB-1A. In other words, how much or how many of everything we need. Okay? So, and of course, it's going to be an average case. Each case is individual. I never work by the template, but still, it's going to give you a good idea of what needs to be done. All right, let's go. Criterion number 1 is the awards and prizes. So the classic way to prove awards is to compete in professional competitions and get the prize. Not necessarily the first place. It could be a second, third, whatever the prize is in that competition. Okay, maybe Grand Prix. That's the classic, but there are alternative ways to get those awards. And by the way, those awards, those competitions that you guys compete in, they must be of the national level. Okay, they cannot be local unless they're local but recognized nationally or internationally, right? Sometimes that could be the case. So that's important to know. Now, what other alternative ways to prove awards? Number 1, and guys, put it down if you got the notes. Put that down. The grants from the government or the profit or non-for-profit organizations. Okay, grants. That could be grants for education, for projects, for startup, whatever. Government medals also could be awards. The dissertations, if they are noted as important, could be awards. Some scholarships in the universities may be awards. And I think one of the most important things, speaking at the conference with publication of your paper, is the award. I know it doesn't sound like Stanislav. I spoke at the 10 conferences and they published my paper. How come is this an award? It's just normal thing in my industry. Yes, exactly. Normal for you, not normal for me, because I spoke at conferences as a speaker many times, but I never published my paper with the conference. That's for me is like, I'm not that smart, guys. I mean, I think I'm good, but I'm not that smart. All right. So, but many of you do. So each one of those papers published after the conference is an award. Okay. Now, how do we prove that we got that award and that it's prestigious? That's very easy. On top of the indirect evidence like pictures, emails, the website, photos of the official organizers, and these kind of things, I need to have a letter from the organizers of whatever that was. With some exceptions, like if the government gave you the medal, no one is writing you a letter, right? We know that, like government. The government doesn't care. But with the medal, we could go online and see who is getting those medals. So we have the independent source of information. With awards and competitions and things like that, the papers published after the conferences, we need that letter from the organizers. And that letter has a certain structure. And of course, when you work with my team, you will get that structure. Okay, you will get the structure. We have the templates for those letters and examples. Yeah, so that's an award. So let me see, guys, the questions. Sandrine's like, so interesting, love this webinar. Thank you, I appreciate, guys. I really appreciate. I'm trying really hard. Trust me, it looks natural and everything, but trust me, I'm putting a lot of effort into this. And especially when I'm in Bali and I'm like, okay. It's time for me to go and have a good time, but I'm willing to give you this time, guys, so to bring you that value. George, I'm a camera assistant for film TV, which means I only qualify for O2. George, don't rush the donkeys, okay? Don't rush the horses. Yes, O2, but you may also qualify for O1. O1B. Does it mean I need to collaborate with the person who qualifies for O1 to make the move? Yes, that's one way, but also, and George, and also, guys, because I see we have some people from the art. In the art, I understand when you like, okay, the talented person in the art, you imagine like a famous singer or the artist or like a director, the movie director, like people who are on the screen. But guys, all those behind the scene, the operators, the light people, the makeup people, the producers, the marketing people, you name it. All of them also qualify for O1, EB-1A, and sometimes even EB-2NIW. So George, do not bring yourself down just because you're a camera assistant. No, camera assistant could also be talented. All right, so it's more expanded than you think. Adele, you're just rubbing it in, raining here in Manchester. Adele, I know it's beautiful weather here in Bali. It just rained a little bit. It's like typical tropical climate, right? But guys, if you ask me, I can show you my villa a little bit. It's beautiful. And it's cheap. It's a very good place to work for you digital nomads, like you guys digital nomads. Sandrine, is there an age limit for any of these visas? No, guys. No limit. My and I don't want to say oldest. My most aged, my most aged client was about 72 years. Okay, 72 guys. Think of it, and I'm like, I wish I'm like that when I'm 72 because that guy was on fire. He had clear mind, calm, knowing what he wants, plans, ideas. He was a startup owner, and guys, at 72 years old, this guy got the venture investment in his startup. I'm like, this world keeps surprising me. Okay? So don't put the limit on yourself just because you think that you, I don't know, especially ladies, your beauty and your cuteness, your beauty, it's not from inside. It's not from outside. It's from inside. Okay? And guys, tell me, George, Juris, Sam, tell me if I'm right. It's not about how you look. It's what you project. Okay? So do not limit yourself with whatever with age, the immigration, and whatever your life. Whatever your relationship. Don't limit yourself. It's all in your head. You guys all beautiful from inside, especially if you project that and you don't limit. And George says true, because George knows. All right, guys. Let's see fast with the questions, because look, if I start entertaining you, we're gonna spend 2 hours here. Sam, is angel VC funding considered? And thank you, Sam. Thank you. That's the one that I missed. Actually, those investments starting $100,000 and more could be considered as an award. Good question, Sam. Thank you. I see you've done your research. MC is asking, what if you are not technical or scientific? No problem. They still have conferences and they still have stuff to deliver. So maybe it's not a publication, maybe it's not a paper, but it's something, the thesis or the ideas, or maybe it's a very tough sorting out of the candidates to speak at those conferences. Okay, so yeah, it's also possible, MC. And Jerry says, I love how friendly your sessions are. Of course, guys, because look, I told to myself, I'm out of toxicity, of bad energy, of bad vibes, and that's how I build my company. That's how I build my life. I surround myself only with good people, okay? Because that's what I project, and that's what I attract. So if you think of yourself as a good person, you have a good vibration, good energy, good intentions, I'm for you. Okay, I'm for you. If you're toxic, if you're negative, if you're pessimist, we still love you. Maybe we'll convert you at some point, but it's gonna be harder. Okay, let's move on, guys. Media, very important, guys. Media and scientific publications. Okay, and by the way, those two criteria, they always, in 95% of my cases. And guys, I have many cases. Every second, every minute as we speak, I manage 300 cases simultaneously. 300. That's why my company is so big. I said it's 100, but it's like 110 people working, right? So 300 cases. And all of them, almost all of them, have the option to improve on media and scientific articles. How? Through the PR agencies that we partner with. Okay? Yes, they're independent. Yes, they don't belong to us. We don't belong to them. But we worked with them for many, many years and proved with hundreds, if not thousands of cases. And we will give you the information of those people to help you out with at least 2 criteria and maybe even more. Okay, so media, newspapers, websites, journals, magazines, TV, radio, you name it. But most likely, it's a newspaper in the form of websites. because nobody reads. And I know you guys in England like, oh, Stanislav, I like in the morning a good cigar and a cup of coffee and read the newspaper, whatever, London Times, and enjoy the weather. Sure, sure. I'm all for the tradition, guys. I love it. But the majority of people, they will go on the website, on X, on Facebook, on Instagram, and read the news, right? They read the newspapers, the posts, the articles. So most of those media is going to be articles, and you guys get a lot of help. A few things about articles. Could be published in major media or professional media, right? Either or. And guys, the most important things, 4 things for articles, for written articles. The article is totally about you and or your work. It cannot just mention you. It must be like an interview, but again, we know how to do this, okay? Number 2, it must have the author. That's the biggest mistake I see when people work on this by themselves. Sometimes the author is just not there, right? It's blank. Who wrote this article? Nobody knows. And number 3 is the title of the article. And number 4 is the date when it was published. Okay, so it's about you and your work, or your work, author, journalist, the time, and the title. Okay, that's the media. The scientific articles, I want them to be indexed in like Scopus, RINDS, Web of Science, Google Scholar, and they must have all the characteristics of the academic publication. And again, like George is like, Stanislav, like I've never done it and I don't see. I know, George. I know. Me neither. Oh, well, I did my thesis in the law school, but yeah, that's all. But that's why we have vendors who will help you with that, guys. Okay, so you like get extra 2 criteria for not doing anything. All right. Of course, there's things you have to do, but they just come on top. So that's very important. Number 4, judging the work of other professionals. The classic way is when they call you for the competition and you assess the work of other people, like the graphic designers, other artists, the actors, the IT people, the who else was the engineers, the whatever that is. And guys, that's the classic way. But in 90% of the cases, I use the alternative judging the work of other professionals. What is it? What is it? And listen very attentively. If you, in the course of your work, is being asked to assess what other people, what other professionals done in your company or outside of the company, it could be audit, it could be review, it could be assessment, it could be performance assessment, it could be analyzing the structure, it could be code review, IT people, code review, that's your thing, all right? Cybersecurity people, code review, or the protection review, whatever the other people did for you, okay? All this is judging, okay? So you make sure you use the alternative ways to prove the judging the work of other professionals. Also, if you are on committee or editorial board, or if you sort out people for the purpose of speaking at the conferences or publishing the papers or wherever there is, wherever you use your expertise to assess other people, that's judging, guys, okay? How do we prove it? You guessed it, it's a letter. It's a letter from the organization or the company or whatever you're audited or assessed, okay? The 5th one, contribution in the industry. And I think this criterion is very important when it's present, because I like to build the case around the contribution in the industry. So what is a contribution in the industry? It must be original and significant, okay? what does that actually means? What does it actually means? Well, original means that it never happened before. The significant means that it's important for the industry or it is being used. Okay? Or it's being monetized. And actually being used and being monetized is very close to each other, right? If it's used and if it's original, usually people pay money to use that. So what could be a contribution? It could be a book. It could be a new technology, innovation, optimization of the processes. It could be a patent. It could be a training course. It could be a publication with a lot of citations. It could be a dissertation, because I know we have a PhD student here, right? Who was it? Eva. Eva is our PhD student. So she's gonna get that dissertation defense, right? So that could be the contribution in the industry, and it usually is, Cumulative speaking at many conferences could be a contribution in the industry. For you my IT people, the code review, strike that, the open source libraries, open source code could be the contribution in the industry, especially if it resolves some problem and people use it. Okay? Even if you don't monetize it. Very important, very important. And many times the products and services and big companies that take a market share could be contribution in the industry. How do we prove the contribution? And this one, it has a little zest to it. It's not just, and I know, like Katz or Sandrine is like, oh, letter. Yes, but not only the letter, not only that. So first you describe what your contribution is in a statement. Then I want the freshly made press reflect that. Okay, the journalist is going to ask you questions about your contribution. Then I want to have one of the, or maybe two, freshly made scientific publications reflect your contribution somehow. I also want expert opinion letters, and if you guys don't have them, welcome to our NEO program. Okay, we have program that's called NEO, which means that up to 4 independent expert opinion letters could be provided in your case as a matter of course. And guys, just think of it. No one ever can do this, only my company, because we have the resources and we have a lot of clients, okay? So we can always find a match to your profession, and you guys will exchange those independent expert opinion letters between 2 talented people, okay? So it's a cross exchange. Very, very strong for the case, not only for contribution, for the whole thing. So you can see we try to prove it from different angles, and the more evidence we have, the better it's for the case. All right, let me see a few questions, and then we finish with the talent visa, then switch to EB-2NIW. Abhilash, I have 10 years experience in one field, VFX, and 1 award from President of India. Wow, that sounds really cool. But then I switched to another field, cinematography, and started as student the on training now. How this will work for me, my previous experience or current one or both? We cannot mix the two, Abhilash. I would love to get you that approval on your first career, because I can see that, you know, with 10 years experience, you probably have 3-4 criteria, and we can add 2-3 on top of that. So that would be a green card. So either you get achievements with your cinematography, or you go back to your prior career and get things done. Sandrine, thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you for the compliment. I do believe I have a good energy. And that's what Indonesian people tell me as well. Like, Stanislav, you have that thing going, and that's always good to hear. Cats, I don't have idea how my 6+ years experience in digital marketing, email and CRM marketing specialist and website developer could help me here. Why? Cats, why so pessimistic? Oh my God. It's okay. Let's talk. Let's talk for 30 seconds. First of all, many of you guys, like 80%, have the have that problem, and there is like a medical term for this. It's I forgot the name of that syndrome. It's like when you do like great things and you really you like above the average and people know about you and they amazed with your work. But for you, yes, Sandrine, imposter syndrome. Yes, thank you. Imposter syndrome. When you think about your work and your professionalism, it's like, you know, it's my routine. I do it every day. There's nothing special. You know, if I'm a doctor, I see those patients every day. They come in, they go. Oh, I diagnose them. Yeah, I go to those conferences. I do this publication. But who does not? All right. You're just a regular person. Correct. Yes. Sure. Guys, don't be cats. Okay? Don't be, because it's not you who tells me if you're talented or not. I'm gonna tell you if you're talented or not, all right? And my judgment is more important than yours. I'm sorry. In that sense, I'm more important than you, because I've done thousands of those cases. So, cats, you're not gonna tell me if you're talented or not. You first get the free evaluation, you fill out the questionnaire, I'll get back to you in 2 days and I'm gonna tell you, okay? So don't impose your imposter syndrome on me, because just for 2024, I got maybe 25 or 30 marketing specialist EB-1As approved, okay? And some of them had less than 6 years of experience, all right? So guys, I hope you trust my judgment. Juris, what are the chances for QA software automation engineer with 15 years of experience, some awards, and currently working remotely on a project basis to obtain an EB-2NIW visa? No, Juris. No NIW. EB-1A. Okay? No, forget about NIW. You will never get it. Unless you work for some huge big project in the US. Okay? So forget about NIW. EB-1A is your case. And I know the QA software automatic engineer is basically like the testers, right? And there's nothing wrong with it. It's totally cool. I got a few of those approved last year, okay, for EB-1A. So that would be your case. How would a large YouTube channel focused on teaching programming in biotech with positive reviews and website creation, open source software for genomics impact the petition? That's the contribution in the industry, Juris. I know you wrote that question before, before I talked about contribution, but that's what it is, guys. And the live stream example of contribution in the industry. The YouTube channel focused on programming in biotech, right? With good engagement, a lot of followers probably, many views. And again, it's very niche, so I don't expect 1 million views, but you know, that's because it's very small, but very important. So Juris, that's your way. I want to make sure, guys, that at the end, when I tell you how to do the free evaluation, I want all of you do this. Otherwise, I will think about you as imposters. Thank you, Sandrine, one more time. You will be all imposters with imposter syndrome for me. Not believing in yourself. I'm the one to believe in you when I see your questionnaires. Number 6, leadership role. Critical or leading roles in organizations with distinguished reputations. I'm going to be nice and sweet here. If the company that you work for has reputation, and it's either big company and famous or small, but it works with the clients are good companies, the famous companies, and you have awards, maybe a press. The more the better. We can establish the reputation, and trust me, guys, if you work in a company like this, your critical or leading role will be provided, will be proved. Okay, so as long as there's a reputation, I'll be able to prove your role in that company. Okay, let's move on. I need a letter. I need a letter from that. Commercial success. There are many ways to show commercial success. Your high income, in other words. But I'm going to be nice and sweet because we start running out of the time. So, guys, listen to each word and try to understand each word because each word is very important. Your salary must be 20–30% more than the average salary of the professional in your field, in your city. Let me repeat. Your salary must be 20–30% more than an average salary of similar profession in your city, in your geographical location, as assessed by the government statistics. Okay? Many countries have government statistics on a particular profession by the city, or by the state, by the region, by the oblast, whatever that administration division, county, like in England it's county, in the US a county too. So some don't, but you can you can do the audit, you can have expert opinion letters. So Stanislav, but I don't work for the salary. I work by contract or by hourly rate. Hourly rate is easy, guys. We just compare it to hourly rate, the average one, right? But if you work for the contract, then it's a little bit harder because then we gotta have either a professional audit of the industry or a bunch of experts proving that the numbers in your contract are at least 20–30% more than average for the same services. Okay? All right. And guys, by the way, I know many of you are digital nomads, but you still have to pay taxes. Okay? You gotta pay taxes on your income, so we could prove it. And the last one, before I give you the examples of average O-1 or EB-1A petition, associations, guys, professional associations. That's the hardest criterion to prove unless you from STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So IT engineers, doctors, architects, designers, and people like that, right? Why? Because we know associations that will work for you. And we will help you to become a member of those associations. So you guys who are in IT, if you listen to me attentively, what you must have heard between the lines, that even if you have nothing, the media, the publications, and associations are could be the extra criteria in your cases, on top of whatever you had. And all of you have critical roles. Many of you have commercial success. Many of you have judging the work of other professionals. And there you go. Right off the bat, we have 6 criteria. And that's the green card, right? So why association is the hardest one? Because they must accept only for outstanding achievements and as judged by the experts of a national level and that association, and that must be in the bylaws of that association. Okay, so it's a rare case when we have that, but for some industries we have those associations. Now, okay, let me see. Sam, what about zero salary but very high equity compensation? Yes, that could be used. Now, guys, an average O1 case. And again, there's no such a thing. It's completely my fantasy. Okay, that's my creation, because all of them are different. But the average case is for three articles in the media, 3 publications of academic nature, 1 judging engagement, 2 critical roles, and commercial success. Okay, media, articles, judging, role, and commercial success. 5 criteria. Okay, of course you may have awards or you may have contribution in the industry, so you might either add on top of that or substitute, right? So that's the average case for O1. Now, what's an average case for EB-1A? That would be 5 media articles, 4 academic articles, 2 judging engagements, much easier for IT, 1 contribution in the industry, 2-3 critical or leading roles, and commercial success. Okay, 6 criteria. Again, there could be a million combinations, but that's what the average case looks like. All right, guys, let's move on. EB-2NIW. So, as you guys understand, EB-2NIW, because it starts with EB, it's a green card. Okay? Meaning you'll get the residency, and then you will get your passport. All right? In EB-2NIW, the criteria for this type of visa, we have only 3 of those criteria. Okay? And as opposed to O1/EB-1A, we have to satisfy all 3. Okay? We cannot pick and choose, oh, okay, let me do this, these 2. No, all of them. What are they? Number 1, your education. Okay, that's number 1. Bachelor's degree and 5 years of experience in your specialty after the bachelor's, or master's degree, no experience is needed, or exceptional abilities. Exceptional abilities is kind of similar to the criteria of talent visas, but much lower burden of proof. Okay, so that would be like between, remember that twerking lady in the beginning of the webinar and the tango guy, or a couple? So somewhere in between of them, right? Like guys, give me an example. What, like bachata, the bachata? Okay, so that's the that's the exceptional ability. So that's in case you don't have the education. Okay, so that's the first criterion. The second one is, and guys, listen very attentively, because a lot of attorneys miss this point. Okay, they just miss it, and we're not going to do this. It's the idea of the project that is in the national interest of the United States government. Okay, one more time. The idea, and I'm emphasizing this word, you guys got it, right? I'm emphasizing the idea word, of the project, endeavor they call it, that is in the national interest of the US government. Why did I emphasize the word idea? Because people miss it. People miss that important word, and they think that they have to already have a project working, showing the result, before they can file for the case, and that is wrong. You guys watch those shows, you know that. Wrong. No. Of course, if we have it, if they have the working project, that's good. We'll take it. But most of EB-2NIWs, they get approved on the idea. Okay? So that's important. Now, what is national interest? Right? Because what's national interest for me is not national interest for Sam. Okay, or juris, or Adesoye, right? It's all different. So what's the definition? It consists of 2 sub-criteria, guys. Number 1, substantial merit. Nobody knows what it means. And number two, the national importance. Now, what is substantial merit? That means that there is a problem. And again, I know maybe some of you guys read Danazar case, and if you're serious about EB-2NIW, you have to read Danazar. Okay, Google it. Google it. Danazar EB-2NIW. Okay, 8 pages, guys, written like a Bible. 5 levels of understanding. Okay, maybe more. 8 most important pages in your life if you go for EB-2NIW. You all have to read it if you go for EB-2NIW. Okay, I read it 100 times. I'm gonna read 101 and I'm gonna find something new. That important. Okay, so and it explains it a little bit different, but I want you to understand. I don't want you to think that I'm throwing legalese at you and like trying to be smart. No, my task is to get you to comprehend what I'm saying. So substantial merit is a problem. There's a problem, okay? There's a problem in engineering, there's a problem with IT people, with artificial intelligence, with cybersecurity, with blockchain industry. There's a lot of problems, okay? Now, national importance means that the solution to that problem is important to the US government. And all those things that I mentioned, they are important, okay? Now, Stanislav, what is the best way to know that idea of the project? And if you guys ask yourself this question, congratulations. That's what I want you to ask yourself. And guys, I'm gonna give you the best recipe. No one ever, no other attorney, no one other person, the paralegal, no one will give a better answer to that. Close your eyes, breathe, and remember, what did you do today in the morning? And I'm not talking about taking a shower or I don't know what you do with in your bed, right? I'm talking about work, okay? Think what you did at your work. What kind of problems you were solving? And think big, guys. Think big, okay? What kind of things you created? Are those things important? If you can't come up with anything from the morning, think for the last 5 years. What kind of problem you were resolving? And again, we have like actors here, a few people from art. Guys, art is, don't worry about EB-2NIW. The art people worry about EB-1A, O-1B, okay? Although the law provides for art and culture, it's just almost non-existent, okay? I had one case, culture related, which I got approved. The art studios across the US as a franchise. Really nice case. Maybe I'll talk about it sometime in the future. So let me give you a few examples of the fresh EB-2NIWs that I got approved the past few months. And guys, my favorite case in my whole career happened 2 months ago, and it's EB-2NIW case. And I know you will be laughing and you probably won't believe me. That's fine, but it's totally true. Think of it, guys. I got approval for the lady whose project in the US is the hotel for the cows. Crazy, right? I would say that's insane. And you'll be like, oh my God, like, where's the national, what problem they resolve, what's the national? Yes, of course. Well, first of all, it's a big project. It's like ecotourism, and like on top of keeping the cows from other people and taking care of them, like people go, like farmers go on vacation too, right? Like I'm on my vacation. It's not really a vacation, but whatever. I'm in Bali. If I had a cow, I don't, but if I did, what would I do with it? The cow also needs love. So I would take that cow in the hotel, right? To my client. And they will take care of it, I can imagine like the cow and like the massage, they next to the horns and playing the classic music. I mean, this is so cool. So, and then they're gonna expand, build the hotel and do the ecotourism, like people from New York, the CEOs, they come and clean after the cows, they, do those crazy things. So that's one, but it's more for entertainment. Let's talk more about our stuff. A platform, IT person created an educational platform to educate other IT people. Approved. A businessman from Russia who created the new technology of building the foundation for the houses that serve longer, cost cheaper, and very eco-friendly. Approved. People from Latvia who build a business for auto parts for planes to export them from the US, refurbished auto parts. And you'll be like, Stanislav, but aren't we talking about the US government importance, not the world? Yes, but Danazar provides for global interest as well, right? So they refurbish the parts and they export them, so the planes in other countries do not fall. Approved. Another IT person created the platform working with a mental health specialist based on AI. By the way, he's from France. He's from France. I think Emmy is from France, like Emily, right? Yes. So in combination with a doctor, that platform to assess the mental health of people. Approved. And projects like this. Okay? All right, guys, that's the second criterion. The third criterion is the relevant experience. And it actually sounds as well positioned, but it's a relevant experience, right? You must know what exactly you're doing. You must prove that you've done something in the past that you will be able to perform in the future, right? And it applies in many spheres of our lives. So, three criteria: education or exceptional ability, the idea of the project in the national interest of the US, and prove that we are well positioned, okay? And that's the EB-2NIW. Emily, is it hard to prove the availability if you don't have a degree? Good question. So what Emily is asking, if I don't have the degree, but I want to go by exceptional abilities, is it going to be a harder case? Yes. Yes, definitely. It's going to be a harder case. Again, it all depends what kind of exceptional, and I didn't mention those exceptional abilities criteria, similar to EB-1A. Not going to go there. You guys can look it up online. But yes, it does make the case more difficult. Not to say that I got approvals for people with no education for EB-2NIW, which I think pretty insane. Okay. Okay, but we all know about the benefits. Okay, guys, let's move to the last part of our webinar. And guys, please give me 7 more minutes, and maybe these 7 minutes are the most important in your life. Okay, so stay tuned for these 7 minutes, please. 3 steps how to move to the US. 3 simple steps. Number 1. A free analysis, free evaluation of your case. I'm gonna tell you how to make that first step in a second, okay? Once you pass the free evaluation, and you have to look for the word potential, okay? If in your free evaluation that's coming from me, you got the word potential, that means that I and my team and me will be able to improve and make your case strong within 6 months with 90% chance of approval. That's what potential means. And if you have that potential, you have to move to the second step. Complex immigration planning, KIP. Okay, KIP. It consists of 2 meetings, one with the data manager who sucks out all the information from you. And the second one is the meeting with me through the Zoom or in my office in Miami, where the main purpose is to build the written winning strategy for your case, which later is going to be used in the approval and strategy departments by your team to create the evidentiary base based on my strategy. So 6 months from that point, I could draft the memorandum of your case to make a legal argument to the immigration officer. So that's the second step, complex immigration planning. The third step is a complete case filing. That's when you hire my corporation and my team to lead your case. And what does it mean? And guys, we're the most advanced company in this sector. No one is doing cases like this. Like, think of it. Most of attorneys still work by emails. Like, come on. Come on, dude. Switch to the 21st century, okay? We have messengers. We have software. We have things streamlined nowadays. So we streamline your case in the Telegram messenger, okay? You have the team, 8 to 11 people constantly working on your case and access to the chat 24/7. 4-step verification process of all documents, meaning that at least 4 people check each of your documents, where I'm the 4th person. Well-established processes and deadlines, 6 months preparation, assistance in paying all the fees, and we have also premium offers, turn case offer. Okay, not gonna spend much time on this one, but we have like more expensive offers when you guys delegate most of the writing to my team. Okay, all right, so it's time to get the presents. And guys, and look at this beautiful person. Look at this trustworthy face and eyes. And I'm talking about person on the picture, right? Free evaluation, guys. What I need you to do, to either scan the QR code on the screen, or make a screenshot and save it and scan it from a different device. Or the third option, you can click on the link in the comment section, which Vladimir, our moderator, has kindly provided for us. Okay, so either QR code or the link in the for those of you who are on Livestorm. If you guys on YouTube, you can use only the QR code, okay, or other platforms. What you're gonna do, you're gonna click on the link or scan your QR code, find the questionnaires, the forms, either for the talent visa or for NIW or for both. You guys can do both, okay? There's no limitation. It will take me 2 days, up to 2 days, to analyze your information, and I will back to you with free analysis. Okay? Again, look for the word potential. If you see it, that's the green light. That's the green light to move on to the second step. Not all of you will see the word potential. Okay? So if you saw it, that's good. That's good. And please, guys, please spend that 10 minutes of your life. Do this form. It's not gonna take you much, but that may be life-changing for you, your kids, and all the generations ahead. Okay? Simple as it is. The second gift, guys, the guide that I created special for you. Okay? Same way, QR code or the link in the chat, in the comment section. Please download it right now. Okay, download it right now, because within 24 hours we're gonna close the link and it's not gonna be available to you. So get to the link, download the guide, and study it. Open it and study it. Okay, that's the second. So let's finish with a few questions, guys. And remember that I have all kind of social media in the world. I have X, I have Instagram, I have YouTube, I have Telegram channel, okay? And I have Facebook. So you can access them by those QR codes on your screen. And let me see what else you guys were asking me. Juris, interesting looking at the differences between EB-1A and EB-2NIW, and it seems NIW is more suited for people who are now self-employed digital nomads. It's an interesting take, Juris. It's an interesting take of it. I think the difference between these two is that NIW is like for people in the STEM category. Okay, that's more when you have some project that you worked before, you want to implement in the US. That's how I see EB-1A is good for everyone. Sandrine, what about professional who are not digital nomad but trade personal like car mechanic? Sandrine, it's funny you're asking this question, because this webinar is good for everybody. Especially nomads, but it's good for everyone. And you will be surprised, Sandrine. I got EB-1A approved for car mechanic 2 months ago. Okay? Real case. I think that's the only case existing in the industry. Of course, I didn't call him a car mechanic, but I call him a car expert, right? So you gotta play with the words. Mesh, could you tell us yes, Mesh, yes, thank you for reminding me. The other 9 and 10 criteria is the showcase for EB-1A and the commercial success in performing arts. Okay, so if you're an actor and you participate in a play which is commercially successful, let's say people come and watch and pay money for it, it's one. And showcase pretty much any you're playing on the stage. Okay, those are really good for art. As Emily, I have education but only vocational. Yeah, that could be used. That could be used too. JT, how is the expedited 45 days process working out? So basically, there are expedited processes for EB-1A and EB-2NIW. EB-1A 15 days, so 2 weeks. You file, and within 15 weeks you know the result. Same with the EB-2NIW. You file within 45 days, you know the result. Guys, highly recommend. I almost demand, I'll almost require you do the expedited processing, because otherwise it's too long. Everybody forgets, and things change, and the law change, and no. Let's do expedited. So that's what it means. Jury Stanislav, how much difference certificates from places like Coursera that are for the things like ML, AI help the case? Are they strong addition? Yes, they go. Everything that's not a part of the case goes to the subjective criterion. Sandrine, thank you so much for the webinar, your patience, for the evaluation, much appreciated. Thank you, Sandrine. Thank you for the good words. Okay. All right, guys. That's all. Free evaluation, complex immigration planning, complete case filing. That's your path to the US, as easy as 1, 2, 3. My name is Stanislav Shamaev. I'm a lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck.